Well, back to our top story and the face-off between the Navy and security company Tonne over the seizure of a vessel in Ondo State. We're now being joined by Rear Admiral Mustapha Hassan, who is a flag officer commanding the Western Naval Command in Apapa, Lagos. And just a note to our viewers, we reached out to Tonne to join this discussion, but they were indisposed. Well, very warm welcome, Admiral Mustapha Hassan, to Newsnight. Let's start. Would you want to bring us up to speed on the arrest made by the Navy along the Western Front? What is causing this accusation and counter-accusation?
Okay, good evening, viewers. Before I start, I want to say, on behalf of the Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs, to extend my deepest sympathies to the families of those that lost loved ones in the unfortunate Kaduna bombing. It all began on the 6th of December when we received credible intelligence as to oil theft off the shores of Awoye in Ondo State. The Navy was able to intercept a 15,000 metric ton vessel that was in the process of stealing 95,000 barrels of crude oil, which translates to about 6 billion naira going by current rates. On the receipt of the intelligence, men of my subunit, FOB Bokoda, sprang into action and arrived at the ship by 0030 hours and attempted to board the ship. Before they got there, there was a bit of resistance. There were 2 boats by the ship. They opened fire and my men fired back safely. That's not aiming at them because of whatever is on board. And the 2 ships sped off. On boarding the ship and surveilling the environment, they found out that there was a connection between the oil platform and the ship. In fact, there were 2 hoses tied and the ship was being loaded. At the time of the interruption, the ship had loaded about 2/3 of the value of what they wanted. Now, I was shocked to hear that Tonne sent a message to NNPC that they arrested a vessel. Most importantly, the area, the Awoye riverine area, is highly populated by militants, and Tonne has good presence there. If there was good intelligence that something was about to happen, I expected Tonne to have informed me so that I would swing into action. Rather, nothing was heard. But in the afternoon, in the afternoon of the next day, they started making efforts to move the ship to Oprosa, a creek in Edo State, Delta State, Oprosa. And it baffles me. Why is a contractor trying to take a ship from the legitimate custodian of arrested vessels to a creek for what they call collective testing? We've arrested, we told you it's crude oil. We know it's crude oil is coming from the wellhead. You want to take and test. There are insinuations and all that Tonne is embroiled in all this theft. I don't want to say it's the hierarchy of Tonne because we have bad eggs everywhere. So that may be it, and they're trying to take the ship to save themselves from whatever they might have collected from the real owners of the ship.
Well, it looks as if the Navy and other security agencies and this private security company, do you share intelligence? I mean, to work with synergy in foiling illegal bunkering and theft of Nigerian crude oil. Do you?
These private security companies are like every other citizen of the nation. They give intelligence, and intelligence is useful to the military. It's like they all act like force multipliers, so they help us to succeed in our quest. So They are important, and so far everything has been working well. We're in good sync with a lot of them, but Tantita seems to want to always overstep her bounds. She is a private contractor that has been put in place to give intelligence. But rather than give intelligence, you see them trying to arrest, board, prosecute, test, and all. I had to communicate with the Commander Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe to ask about the limits. And he told me he has warned Tantita, don't get involved in the kinetics, just bring information. But yet, maybe they have their roots in being lawless, and it's difficult for them now to be controlled and given instructions. But I think we should work together towards a common goal of saving the economy of the country.
So, well, I mean, that, brings the question again further, is that there's no synergy. The relationship is not speak and spark. And the Navy does not seem to even have, foreknowledge of the services Tantita is supposed to render or the contractual agreement. There is an erosion into your own duty constitutionally.
I don't think that is correct. I don't think they are contracted to enforce maritime law. They are a surveillance company, and like I said, and they are to give intelligence. Strangely, a big haul like this was not reported to me. Even their attempt, as reported, to take over the ship didn't come to me. I didn't receive any letter. I didn't receive any phone call from Tantita saying they want to take a ship from the Navy to the creeks for testing. It's unheard of and cannot be done. They should stick to the terms of their contract and all will be fine. We are not working at cross purpose. We're all aiming for the same goal. We are to save the country. So we should stop bandying accusations around. 2 days ago that we did this arrest. A few hours later, they were shouting that the Navy is attacking them. It shouldn't work like that. Let's synergize and make things work.
Obviously, I mean, from your own submission, something is really wrong. And when, given recent accusation and counter-accusation, is the Navy and these private firms, you're working at cross purposes. There is no doubt about it from your submission.
We are surely not working at cross purposes because we are aiming at moving the country
Admiral,
forward.
sorry.
All that is going wrong now. Yes.
If you're not working at cross purposes, why the hula baloo about this recent seizure, which you said you gathered intelligence to know that that ship was engaged in illegal or stealing crude oil, and Tantita is saying otherwise? Are you working? Your duties, are they synergized here?
Tantita just needs to work within the terms of their contract so that we will have a smooth ride. If a ship was arrested by the Navy, clap for the Navy, make your report. If you see a ship committing an offense, report to the Navy or any relevant security agency and move on. Don't start bandying words. Oh, we did it first, we did that. We should rise above that and focus on saving the nation from these thieves.
All right. Then how would you respond to allegations that some naval personnel collude with oil thieves?
Now, in every organization, you have bad eggs, and the Nigerian Navy does not pull punches when it comes to dealing with bad eggs. We set mechanisms in place. Technology has also helped to make sure they don't want to venture into that line anymore. So even if you look at reports in recent times, we don't have that coming up. We've had them and we're dealing with them, and you can't deny that. But things are rosy these days.
Okay, things are rosy. If they are really rosy, the Tantita was brought in to help secure oil facilities due to what some people may call lapses noticed in securing our waterways. Can the Navy truly assure Nigerians that it has the capacity to police Nigeria's waterways and including, really catching the real oil thieves? Admiral?
Before I talk about our capacity, I want to say I would love to see Tonne, since they want to encroach, go to illegal refining sites, point them out, or if you're over enthusiastic, turn off the fires. The illegal refining sites get their oil from illegal pipeline ruptures onshore. Report those. If they are up and doing, we won't have those refineries alight. Now, regarding our capacity, the Navy is doing well. We are growing daily and having more ships and equipment. Today, I commissioned 10 big drones to help in maritime surveillance and operations. We have more and more crabs as we move on. Now, coming to my AOR in Lagos, if you notice, I'm even opening up more fights on more fronts. I'm doing Badagry, I'm doing Atlas Cove, I'm doing Lekki, Ekpe, and Igboko Dadas in Ondo State. I'm even opening a new front in Ogun State this week. It shows you I have the capacity, and that goes for the Navy in totality. We have the capacity to do that, and we are doing more and more. But if an organization sees a lapse in our capability or there's a dent somewhere, why don't you fund us better to cover that gap, rather than take a big chunk of the money that would have helped us to be better equipped or to improve our capacity and open a new organization or something to complement? So I think we should all come together with some focus and move our nation forward. Thank you very much.
Would you describe securing the services of Tonne to secure Nigeria's critical oil infrastructure as an aberration or, a disservice to the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian military? How expedient? Was it based on political expediency or true security expediency?
I have nothing against Tonne. Totally, I have nothing against that organization because they are supposed to feed us with intelligence, and intelligence is key to naval operations. We've been getting intelligence from lots of organizations, and that helps us to move forward. The operation I conducted 2 nights back to save this 6 billion naira heist was based on intelligence, and it came from a citizen. So if Tonne can add to that, it's a plus for us all.
All right, thanks so very much. Rear Admiral Mustapha Hassan is the flag officer commanding the Western Naval Command in Apapa, Lagos. Thanks for joining us on Newsnight.